my friends, thank you for joining me today. I hope you all are doing well and that you're having an awesome day. This is the return of old school beauty YouTube, and I'm excited because today's makeup look is something that was requested. The request was for an iconic Lady Gaga look, and the most iconic and most amazing makeup look that I still love to this day is the Dead Mouse meets Minnie Mouse meets Gothic 1920s style makeup look that she did in Paparazzi. Paparazzi is one of those music videos that's very iconic. There's the Alexander Skarsgård, if I say that wrong, I'm pretty sure I did, who's, you know, super hottie from True Blood and many other shows, but he was, you know, Eric in True Blood, so my heart. So iconic video, iconic makeup, everything. So if you're interested in seeing that Lady Gaga Minnie Mouse Gothic 1920s-esque Dead Mouse kind of look, then stay tuned. By the way, if you're new here, hi! Welcome! My name is Em, and you're watching Makeupry. If this is your first time here and you like what you see, please be sure to click that subscribe button and ring the bell for your notifications to let you know when I've uploaded a new video. Also, please be sure to leave a comment in the chat. I love having conversations with you. It makes me feel loved and feels like I have a little community here. So, alright, let's get to it. So this makeup look looks complicated and over the top, but it's actually quite simple. She has a very strong, clean base, so we'll be focusing a lot on the base today, and then winged liner and a lot of lashes, a lot of lashes, plus, you know, the iconic 1920s pursed, like, pinched lip look. Ooh, hello here. Okay, so one thing to note with this makeup look is that she has a slightly lighter foundation and base. It blends in, but it's very pale, and she doesn't have much color to her cheeks. In fact, she doesn't have any color to her cheeks necessarily. There's no strong blush, no strong contour. Everything is focused on the lips and the eyes. You can't see her brows because she's wearing the wig that has the really long extended bangs that come to about the crease area of her eye. So unfortunately, I don't have a wig like that, and unfortunately my hair is too thin to make that thick bang look. So we're just going to pretend that she has her brows filled in and everything looks good on top. Of course, I've moisturized my face because she has a very matte makeup look, almost very powdery looking, at least from what I can see in the photos. I'm going to use e.l.f.'s Poreless Putty Primer to kind of fill in and smooth out some of these fine-lined areas, like my forehead. Starting to get older, so it's starting to really show up here. I like to use my fingers to warm up the product and kind of pat it into the skin. That way I don't actually take it off of my skin with a brush or a sponge or something. So I have a mixing palette here because I'm going to mix a foundation. This one is a little too pink and pretty light on me, so I'm going to mix that. This is a hue shifter mixing medium, so it lightens your foundation. So I'm going to add a couple drops of that to this foundation. So my face is pretty tan, for me anyway. So the color I'm using is a little too pink, but it is pale and it'll work really well. So let's just get into it. Stipple that on with a brush to get the most impact. So this foundation, it's pretty full coverage, but I still see some freckles and a little bit of discoloration here. So I'm going to use some concealer because that's not enough product on my face. But I am going to use a little bit of concealer and kind of blend it down just to merge and kind of clean up this area, which is where I tend to have the worst dark circles and discoloration. I'm using one that's really light and it's also matte. I'm going to mix it in with one that's a little bit creamier. This is a color correcting one, has a little bit more orange to it here. So all in all, I've got 3 shades here. They're very light, but I'm also adding a little bit of color corrector here just to kind of help combat some of this deeper dark circle. I want to concentrate this color in a very particular area here. So the reason I'm doing it this way instead of just sweeping it completely under the eye is because I don't want my eyes to crease up. I don't want this under eye to feel dry and cakey. So if I concentrate the concealer where I need it the most, where it's not going to crease as much, then it actually helps the foundation look a lot better. Because this is slightly lighter than my foundation shade. I am going to use this for a highlight color as well, but I'm not going to go too heavy-handed just yet. So what I'm going to do is use a really small blending brush to kind of feather out the concealer and just kind of blend it into the eye. Her eye space is pretty blank as well, so I'm just going to use that on the eyes just to make sure I hide any of the redness there. And then the same here on this outer cheekbone area where I have some melasma and some freckling. Okay, I look pretty ghostly at this point, and yet my skin looks mostly like skin. It's gonna look a little odd because it's a little bit more pale than my body. So I'm gonna just kind of marry everything together with a larger brush. Just one last pat in. And then of course comes the powder. And I'm just using the tiniest amount here under the eye. I dipped my brush into the powder like so. Kind of swirl it around in the cap and tap it off, just to make sure I don't have too much powder on my brush. It can make you look a little old and crusty, and I don't want to look crusty. My eyelids look a little crusty because I have eczema today, an eczema flare-up, unfortunately. That is what it is. So the foundation I'm using is not my favorite foundation, I'm gonna be honest. It is drying, and I hate matte foundation on myself, but that's the look. So it's a little like interesting to wear it. I'm going to take a really light eyeshadow. I'm going to run this all over the lid and into the crease just to make sure I get all that concealer blended out. That way my liner will look decent. And then I'm also going to take a light taupey shade, just the teeniest, tiniest amount, and apply this just above my crease. I have deeper set eyes with a slight hood, and she does not. Her eyes protrude a little bit more than mine do. So I'm going to kind of create a pseudo effect of my eyes coming out a little bit more with that crease coming up a little higher. So it'll make it look like I have a little bit more lid space than I do. And I'm concentrating that just on this outer third or outer 2/3 of my eye, because if I take it in, it's going to close my eyes off and it's going to look unnatural. I see that the liner kind of extends a little bit beyond the eye crease, but not too far. The liner comes all the way to this inner corner, and there's a little bit there, and then the liner comes clear across the lid and kind of straight up in kind of a diagonal here. I'm gonna have to kind of keep adjusting my eyes here just to make sure I don't bring this down, because my eyes are a little bit more round. I don't want to bring it down too far because it's going to make my eyes look a little droopy, and her eyes are a little bit uplifted, so I'm keeping the liner kind of angled upwards, and I also want to keep the shape true to what she's doing there. And here's where the deep set kind of hooded part comes into play. I'm not going to go too far out because otherwise it'll sink and it will look kind of bad. So you see where it just kind of barely peeks around that corner. I'm not going to bring it out any more than that. So now I'm just going to fill it in. The top liner is done. It's a little bit wonky, but I'm not going to worry about it because I have false lashes, obviously, that I'm going to be putting on over the top. So it's going to kind of fix and hide some of those not so pretty points. And then also the bottom lash line has a pretty thick line as well. So it goes all the way into this inner corner, into the bottom lash line, of course. And I'm going to use a creamy eyeliner instead of a liquid, because at least this will smudge and it's a little bit easier to work with. I'm going to keep this line pretty thin to start. Since I do have those rounder eyes, as I mentioned before, with this liner coming back into this inner corner, I'm going to kind of bring it down, this liner down a little bit lower than the natural curvature of my eye, create a little bit of a more open shape. I'm going to go back to the liquid liner because it's going to be a little bit easier for this part to be pretty opaque. And then I'm just going to kind of brush that over the top of the liner going outward. And then I'm just taking this bottom line and just kind of pulling that up towards this outer wing and connecting them, and then I just kind of reshape this to match. And I'm going to use a brush and just kind of smudge this line out just a little bit so I can make it look a little less harsh on the bottom. Let's do some lashes now. She has some pretty full lashes, obviously, so I'm just brushing a little bit of mascara. I'm not going to like push them up all the way because that doesn't work for me. when I go to apply falsies. So I'm just kind of brushing this through to make sure I get all the powder out and just kind of create the shelf. These are a little bit flirtier than what she's wearing in the video, but I feel like this works really well with the flutteriness. That's what that's gonna look like. It's gonna be pretty intense, but I think it'll look nice. Golly, this feels really weird because I never wear false lashes. Woo! Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and disguise those bands now. So while I'm waiting for these top lashes to dry, there are definitely some bottom lashes, and these are the highlight of the makeup look. The key to applying bottom lashes is to flip the lashes upside down so they curl down like that. I'm gonna kind of angle them this way a little bit more so they droop down like hers do. And it's always best when you do bottom lashes to do one that has a really thin band. That way they are seamless. On top it's not as important, but definitely on the bottom lash line it is. And what I did is I applied these bottom lash lines into that black liner so that way it follows that shape that I created. Alright, now to the other eye. I feel like my eyes are gonna fly away now. Alright, so that's the eyes. Now for the fun, iconic Minnie Mouse lips. I'm gonna apply a little bit of concealer to my lips here. Blot them out entirely. So my lips are still a little pink. So I'm going to apply a little bit more because her lips are pretty blotted out on these outer corners. Now that my mouth tastes so delicious. Oh man, I feel like a corpse. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the concealer off in the center part of the lips and in the Cupid's bow. Now I'm doing this so that the liquid lipstick I use will remain creamy. And this will also help kind of shape where you want that to go. I'm going to use a lip liner to start. I made this round shape, but if you notice, her little lips kind of pull out like a natural smile. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of rounding out this edge here instead of keeping it straight down. So it looks a little less clown-like and a little bit more realistic. Not that her makeup is realistic or anything, but you know. I'm going to fill that in with a liquid lipstick. It's kind of fun, it's very avant-garde, it's very just different. Do I feel like Lady Gaga? I need the glasses, I need the wig, and I need the iconic yellow Minnie Mouse dress. What do you think? I wish I thought to order the wig and everything before I filmed this video, but I was going through the list of all the videos that I've been wanting to film, and this was one that I was like, ooh, I need to film that, and I need to get it up very soon. So I just kind of filmed that on a whim today. So anyway, I'm enjoying how this looks despite it being completely matte, and I'm not the biggest matte foundation fan on myself, and I obviously don't really wear a lot of false lashes. It's kind of wild wearing lashes. So wearing a set on both the top and bottom is like, whoa, what's up with this? But it's so fun. I have so much fun experimenting with makeup and playing with it in this way. Oops, I have a little mistake here. One final thing I'm going to do with the lashes here is I'm going to take some mascara and kind of run them through the bottom lash line just to get them to pop a little bit more and kind of clump them together. And this will just kind of make it look a little bit more like hers. And do the same on the top. There we go. That looks a lot better. So just really quickly, you'll see that the lashes are not done this way for the outro. That's because I filmed the outro and realized that I've forgotten to do the bottom lashes. So sorry for any confusion, but this is just a fast forward and rewind situation. Okay, let's resume. So I'm not going to chase you down and follow you until you love me, but I do ask that you click that like button and leave me a nice comment below. And if you want to come back and hang out again in the future, be sure to click that subscribe button. I will love you forever. You'll be my rock star, and I'll be your I won't be your paparazzi. I think that would be a little creepy, don't you think? Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, let me know if there's an iconic makeup look you would like to see so I can bring that back for this return of old school beauty YouTube series. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay electric. Cause I'm your biggest fan, I'll follow you until you love me. Paparazzi. I have to go to the grocery store so I can make stuff for dinner, and I have this face on. Should I go like this? What do you think? Do you think I should go and be like, I'm playing Betty Boop Minnie Mouse Lady Gaga hybrid, you know? I'm cool like that. And then I'll smile like this too.